Hey folks, great you're watching again and welcome to this English summary. Well, today we had some fight with the BMP engine and gearbox. Well, the thing is, to remove the gearbox from the engine, you have to undo all the nuts, bolts, which hold the pressure plate in place for the clutch. Yeah, that's the only way to separate the gearbox from the engine. Yeah, in order to do so, you have to turn the engine over. So all these bolts, align with this small opening at the top of the flywheel housing. Then it's doable, of course. But when you have an engine which is stuck, that might be an issue. Yes, we cannot turn the engine because it's nasty stuck. There is one of the con rods is still inside of the engine, of the broken ones. This is on top of the crankshaft, and the crank hub is in the top position, and this con rod is squished between the crankshaft and the top of the crankcase. So, the engine is pretty well locked in position, as we can say. In order to get this thing loose, it would be handy to put some power, to put some force on the flywheel. But in order to do so, we still have to remove the gearbox, which can't be removed because we cannot turn the engine, so we cannot remove the pressure plate. So that's an issue. Well, of course I have an idea for this, and therefore we put the engine and gearbox straight up, so the gearbox is at the top. And the idea was to remove all the studs which hold the gearbox and engine together. And if I can remove the studs, I can turn the complete gearbox or engine around, and that way I can remove all the bolts from the pressure plate. So that sounds like an easy job, but it's still a little bit of pain because over here I have the stud. You can see this is where the nut goes, which holds the gearbox. That's the part. That's the part which holds the stud in the engine block. And as you can see, this is bigger than this thing. So this part cannot go through the gearbox. So, when I undid all of these, I put two nuts on them. So I have this contra nut, so I can tighten them amongst each other, and then I can use them to turn this one out. But as you can see, this piece is thicker. We'll go to the gearbox. It's over here. I'll show you. This is where the studs go, and that part, of course, it fits, but this part, that doesn't fit. So this, I can say, I was a little bit annoyed by this. Of course, I don't really like this design with these stupid studs, because if they had used bolts, then it wasn't a problem at all. In first hand, they should have they should have invented some of a clutch construction which wasn't like this. So you can just slide the gearbox from the engine without removing all of these bolts through this hole at the top of the flywheel house. I'm not sure who invented this and why. I would think there are better solution for this. Anyway, what I did is we removed all of the studs which were possible. Well, and then they were still caught between the gearbox and the engine block, because I can't take them out. Well, there were a few which didn't come out, and I only had 2 nuts which fits these studs, so I don't want to break them. So therefore I thought it was safer just to cut some of the studs, and in the end I needed to cut a few more because it was just impossible to lift the gearbox enough to rotate it. So I had to cut a few, and well, that created enough space to rotate the gearbox, and then it worked. So yeah, it was a bit of a fight, but of course it's well, we managed to do so. Yeah, okay, I think that's about it. Yeah, of course we removed some other parts, also the fuel pump, which was also some kind of trouble to remove. I'm not sure why, because we also removed the same fuel pump from the same type of engine, of course, and that wasn't so much of a fight. That came easily off, but this one was more of a troublemaker. I'm not sure why. It's also a little bit of a strange construction, because you have this tight fit on one side of the pump. I have the pump over here. Let's go. So well, it's a little bit stupid, because well, as you can see, we have the fuel pump over here, and over there you have a fit. So this is a tight fit with a seal, and then on the other side, over there, you have to lift this thing in order to slide it out. So that's crazy. So it has to pivot over this, well, this fit. And that's not what I would like to do. If I would engineer something like this, and I have a fit on one side, which is which doesn't have a lot of clearance, the last thing I want to happen is to pivot it and then slide it out. So that's pretty strange construction. I'm not sure why they did it like that. Well, of course, I think it's the same for the studs in the which holds the gearbox and the engine together. Same as for the bolts for the pressure plate. I'm not sure. Probably they just had a lot of vodka and they had a lot of fun and they needed to get the job done. And yeah, the idea was good, but then something went wrong, I guess. But hey, these are very successful vehicles. So yeah, you just have to fill the oil in time, and then you won't get the engine stuck, and then you can just remove the bolts the way it should have been done. So that's about it. Okay, I'm thinking if I'm forgetting about something, but that's about it. Yeah, of course we removed the clutch plates, and those look pretty good. So that's nice. Yeah, only thing is that I have ordered a new one already, and that's over there. So we have a new clutch set, and now we have a good used one as well. So I have a spare set. So that's well, not too bad. It's good to have some spare parts. Excellent. Let me see what I have over here. I'm thinking I had to... Oh, yes, about the fuel pump, of course. That was what I wanted to tell. Of course, the engine has sitting outside. So, yeah, it's likely that many parts are rusted and won't move anymore. But the fuel pump, well, it still moves. That's also something I find out. Yeah, look at it. Those are not stuck. So that's a good thing. Well, maybe it needs some WD-40, but it moved. Well, that's better than the one we had outside. That took more effort to free that one up. Okay, that's about it. So I would say thank you for watching and see you next time. Yeah. Oh yes. And if it's not clear, I'm not going to rebuild this engine. It's just a scrap engine. Yeah, I think it will make a nice table. We should add some glass plate and then some bottles of beer on top of it, and then I can well, enjoy my holiday. Because next week and the week after, then I have a holiday. Yes, that's about it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.